Connecting bridge to PulseChain. Connecting ledger up through the contract. EMP.Money to PulseChain.
36 minutes, collect the fees, try go up, only green, connect the chains, prove a contracts, bridge the assets and make a gain. APR so high, so juicy, for the look like Gary Busey, EMP flossing, tossing, 3650 we secret saucing.
Bridge, PulseChain, bridge, BSC. Transaction status success. 69 block confirmations. 420 UTC.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and we are back. I had a much-needed family vacation celebrating my daughter's 1-year birthday. I can't believe it's been a year. Time flies when you're having fun. And no Disney AMA bathroom AMAs, unfortunately, but a lot to go over today. We decided to just consolidate it all into one mega AMA. But I definitely missed all of you. I appreciate all of you and your kind words on my absence. But the team was hard at work, man. And one of those people, my co-host for today and fellow team member, LA, is here. LA, you guys were holding it down while I was gone, and major headway, all around, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits. Even my dog got dancing and jumping all over the living room when that was on.
I love it. Yes, hell yeah. Yeah, shout out to Cool Sheet. He has a lot of bangers lately, so I figured I had to go back to the bridge song because our bridge has been killing it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, huge progress. It was quiet in the groups, so you'd never know, but so much was going on behind the scenes. So much progress. We'll get into it, but lots and lots and lots happening.
Yeah, no doubt. So, like I said, we have a lot to go over today. Please bear with us. We'll try to keep it at about an hour, but after a week of not communicating on AMAs at least, there's a lot to go over. So, that being said, I think we're just going to jump right in. As usual, if you have questions while we're going, please make sure to add that to the live chat in YouTube, or if you're listening to the recording, you're more than welcome to add questions in our dedicated channel on Discord. So we may not obviously get to it today, but we can get to it on Thursday. So, and again, a bit of housekeeping before we get started. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All the engagement helps get the word out there, and our ad revenue also helps support EMP and the EMP ecosystem. So, all right, we're going to jump right in and start off with L1DEX. I know a lot of you have been asking. We're trying to keep you as up to date as we can. Unfortunately, there's a lot of moving parts with L1DEX and ultimately L1X, and so we can only move as fast as we are able to. So that being said, just want to make a few updates and reminders. The first reminder is that L1DEX is not the same as the L1X app. So the swapper will eventually be routed through L1DEX when it launches. And right now, the L1X app is, a proof of concept and a working product, but L1X will be a much more powerful solution, especially in terms of liquidity for swaps. So what you see in the app right now, again, is just more of a proof of concept. Now, can you make swaps on the L1X app? Absolutely. So the liquidity is low. Um, so be mindful of that. But depending on how large of a swap you want to make, but it's really a great way to see it working in action. So, LA, have you? We've heard a lot from the community of people already using it, right?
Yeah, at this point, it feels like most people have kind of been testing it out, and it's more of like a, oh, this is cool. I tried it. It works, but less of like a, I'm going to use it for all of my swaps from now on because there's not quite enough liquidity yet. And we're kind of waiting for the L1DEX launch. So that's where we're kind of coming from right now. And we're going to keep you guys updated as we prepare to launch. But there are still some moving parts that we are waiting for in order for us to be able to launch. So I think we'll go a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, there, as with any new and up and coming chain, the infrastructure has to be there, and we are one of the first projects building on L1X, and so we're working directly with the foundation and Kevin, the founder, to make sure that all the code is legit. Obviously, we need to do our own due diligence as well, whether that's peer review or other external audits. And so again, it seems like it's a simple process from the outside, especially with the L1X app working. But the balancer pools is how our DEX will function. And balancer pools are way more complicated than simple, LP pairs with single staking. So we would never want to launch something that wasn't completely ready, especially with the complexity that balancer pools offer. But all that being said, that is how we're gonna, generate a ton of liquidity for L1DEX, and be able to facilitate the swaps through XTalk. So again, all of that is working or being worked on rather, and so we're hoping to have more updates ASAP. And then again, everybody can expect that the rewards for liquidity providing as well will be generous. So I know that the L1X app is providing some LP rewards, but we feel like L1DEX will be able to offer even more rewards. And again, with risk comes reward. So yes, you may be exposed to a little bit more permanent loss with the balancer pools, but the idea is that the yield far outweighs any potential risk. So, and again, everybody, if you've been around for a while, it's the same sort of concept, providing liquidity on Sparkswap or EMP. The same sort of principles apply. So, what else? We have other updates through L1X. They did release a lot of information over the last few weeks, so please make sure to follow their Discord. They do a great job of putting out articles about all the releases. They have a great NFT program that they have rolled out, and we could spend all day talking about that directly. But just remember, we're trying to separate ourselves a little bit in terms of the L1X news and the actual L1DEX news that directly relates to the DEX. So, again, unfortunately, we're still in kind of a holding pattern with a lot of the juicy details. But all right, and again, we want to reiterate that while we're working closely with L1X, we're not the same team, and that's not to create FUD or anything like that. It's just that we have so much going on of our own that we can't really, be the ones to educate everybody on L1X as a whole. that is really best used with their own, socials and Discord and videos. They're releasing a lot more videos in their experts program where, even some major influencers are starting to talk more and more about L1X. So if you're still wanting to learn more about the chain and all the offerings that they have, then I would suggest, again, doing some more research in that. But as far as everything with the decks, that's what you can, rely on us to convey when we have the clearest picture that we can to educate everybody. So, all right. All that being said, I think that was a really high-level overview of what we have going on. Again, we're not being vague on purpose. It's just the reality of the situation. So, Ella, anything you want to add to that, or any bullet points I missed?
No, I think that's it in a nutshell. Just keep in mind that we don't hold anything back. So as soon as we have more updates and information for you as the timeline progresses, we will keep you all updated.
Perfect. Yeah. And again, I know the big topic of the last few months has been claiming tokens. And as of now, everybody should have been able to claim their tokens. I think there may be some early seed round individuals that still haven't gotten tokens. But as far as our pre-sales and the public sale, everybody should now have them. So is that correct, LA? Have you heard any different?
That should be it.
Cool. All right. So now we're going to move on to trade yield. I was hoping to get Brian to come on. We'll have him on for an in-person update. But we're in talks, on a weekly, if not a daily basis. But for those of you who don't know, trade yield is the sister protocol, I guess, or partner protocol rather, that we use to trade and actually yield by leverage trading. And so the Treasury and some of our VIPs have been yielding extremely well from this over the last few months, going on a year now. And the other major rollout was our EMP bond. So again, trade yield is the entity that is managing that, and the bonds have been killing it. I know a lot of people, some people have actually listed their bonds on the market and have sold early. A lot of them, again, have made profit even from that. I know some people that missed getting in have also been able to purchase bonds, which is also bullish. So, for any of you who purchased bonds, they're already appreciating nicely with that 60% APR. I think they're up over $10 now per NFT, which means if you bought them for 250, they're already worth 260. So that's really exciting. And again, if you go to EMPBonds.com, you can see all of these stats for your NFT in real time. So if you go to your profile tab, you can see all the rewards or the appreciation of the NFT as it goes. And again, there are still a few available on the marketplace for any of you still wanting to get your hands on one. It's a great, quote unquote savings account, and it's also, a great way to continue to have a well diversified portfolio. Again, in terms of, risk, 60% APR may not be insane in terms of DeFi yield, but it is insane in terms of, TradFi yield. And because the EMP Treasury is guaranteeing the returns, it's very low risk. So, yeah, really exciting stuff. LA, I know you and I both have personally stacked up some bonds, and they've been paying well. Anything you want to add to about trade yield or bonds?
Yeah, just the simple antidote. I was having a drink with a friend of mine yesterday, catching up, and these bonds and stuff are just so easy to talk about with people that don't really know much about crypto because it's so easy to understand. it's a flat rate APR. It blows people's minds who don't know much about crypto, and you tell them it's a 60% flat rate,
For
guaranteed
sure.
APR. I think I saw my friend's head leave the body. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's so much less complicated to explain than most of the other stuff we're up to. So it's fun to explain that kind of stuff. But I'm excited about them, so it's hard not to talk about what we're up to,
Yeah, no.
even to normies.
Yeah, great points, LA. Again, I think that, having this ecosystem that we've built, there are a lot of very simple on-ramps for people. And to LA's point, if you have, a newbie that, is excited about making money, but they don't really want to dive into, managing LPs and, the real DeFi, at least to start. The bonds are an amazing on-ramp, and so, like LA said, if they can at least learn enough, or maybe you can hold their hand, getting them set up with a Coinbase account, or better yet, Spritz, and the new on-ramping feature with Spritz, getting them to get fiat into crypto, and then helping them just buy the bonds outright, that helps everybody, and it gives them exposure to the EMP ecosystem in a much more simple way. And so that also gets their appetite whet for when we start rolling out even more things. And so, if they can leverage that EMP bond into, a position into Fusion or Sparkswap or L1DEX, now they're part of the community and actually doing DeFi. So it's really, again, part of our plan that we have different levels of complexity and different offerings that suit different objectives. So yeah, really great point, LA, and we will definitely be continuing to promote the bonds as we go. As of right now, we don't have a release date on offering new bonds, but you can definitely pick some up on the market as long as they are there. So, and one last note, remember that you have to use EMPBonds.com. Again, the link is in all of our socials. Do not try and buy them on a third-party marketplace. Those are all scams. You can only buy and sell on our own marketplace. And we do that not only to protect the community, but also to make sure that we're maintaining a very healthy floor price on the bonds as well, because they're fully backed. That's another awesome thing about the bonds, is that they're 100% collateralized. So really awesome stuff. So all right, I think that was it. Any other bullet points on the bonds, LA?
I just put the link in the YouTube live stream for anyone who wants to click on it directly.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, up next is Battlebets. So we've had a lot of headway with Battlebets as well. For those that don't know, this is an amazing gaming platform on Pulse, and their exclusive token of the protocol is Spark. So it's a great use case for Spark, and it's actually fun. So if you haven't heard about BattleBets, please look through some of our old AMAs. We have a full tutorial walkthrough about how to play and how to get involved. But they also updated with some major improvements of their own. So they now have a matchmaking system where you can match schedule or schedule a match rather. So those again that maybe you want to organize tournaments or want to make sure that they're by the computer at a certain time, you can actually schedule your matches, which is awesome. You'll pay a 2 Spark fee, but it's very easy to schedule the match and put it into the queue. Then after that, in the next few days or weeks, they will also be integrating new characters and stages. So we'll have a lot more variety in the overall matches and characters as well. they're also entertaining stage selections. So again, if you wanted to schedule a match, but also have an actual stage or background that you want to play on, that's going to be an option. And they're also in the process of getting the in-house bot betting, or that I'm sorry, the house bet. How? Oh my God! Say that 10 times fast. House bot bet back online. So what that is again a bot that is basically the house that makes sure that you always have somebody taking the other side of whatever bet that you make. So again, that was down for a while they were optimizing everything, and now it should be back online shortly. So you're always having an opponent to bet against. And last but not least, the major alpha is that there is a mysterious and entirely original new character within the game. So they have not released who it is yet or what it is yet, but definitely keep an eye out for a very unique new character that you can battle against. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'd love to see all the speculation on what character that might be. So, all right, awesome. LA, anything to add about Battlebets?
That's pretty cool. So we're waiting for a character from both Splinterlands and Battlebets. So this will be exciting to see what they are.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and again, like I said, we had a major update on that. Speaking of Splinterlands, I'm gonna go off topic just a little bit. But yeah, Splinterlands has been killing it. So, for those that don't know, again, I was a top 5 contributor to the new card sale personally, but I have applied that to the EMP community where we're actually able to design our own card in the game. So it's a great marketing opportunity, and it may be a few months before it's ready, but it's really bullish for, again, getting more exposure to GameFi. And Splinterlands has been on fire. The SPS token has been up majorly. Rewards and generator have been up. So if you're not involved in Splinterlands, at the very least, again, not financial advice, but I would definitely look into getting some SPS tokens before the bull run really kicks off. And we'll have more updates on that too. But yeah, great. Thanks for the reminder, LA, for sure. But yeah, lots of stuff happening around GameFi. All right. Anything else with that, LA, before we move on?
Nope. Let's move on.
All right, so this is a little bit of a bittersweet topic, and that is PulseChain and the markets as a whole. Now, again, Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. ETH has been killing it as well, which has also dragged the price of EMP up with it. What you're seeing on the chart in terms of EMP ETH LP over the last week is exactly why we are just so damn bullish on Fusion and being paired to ETH. And we have that same double-edged sword when it comes to Pulse as well. Unfortunately, right now, it's the negative side of that, where Pulse is dumping and therefore bringing the price of Spark down with it. So I know that there's been a little bit of, concern or FUD around Pulse in general. And while Bitcoin and ETH are pumping, a lot of the alts are either moving sideways or actually dumping. And not financial advice again, but this is all part of the cycle. What we usually see is blue chips, especially Bitcoin and ETH, will go on an absolute tear, and then once they start to level out, or even start to pull back, a lot of those profits then go into altcoins. And so, I don't see anything that is concerning. Obviously, there is still the drama with Richard Hart and the SEC, and moving, PulseX and the main bridge and the Explorer, everything to, IPFS, which in my mind, again, it is a little bit of a bummer short term, but it's really bullish long term. And what it means is that PulseChain becomes even more decentralized. And even if, Richard goes to jail or doesn't fight the SEC and just stays, on the run or in Russia or who knows where he is, even if all that happens in a worst case scenario, it's nearly impossible for the blockchain itself to be taken down. So, I'm still extremely bullish on Pulse for the mere fact of, that it is a strong community. I don't know if we're gonna see, the 1000x in the next year that we all hope for, but I do think that over time, a lot of the better projects will start rising to the top, Spark included with that. And really, because Spark is centered around real yield, we're a lot less reliant on token price appreciation, and really it just matters on the volume. So as long as people are using PulseChain in any form, that is bullish for us and will result in more yield for Sparkswap. So yeah, LA, anything you want to add to that, or anything you think would be helpful for me to go into a little more?
I'll be honest, I'm mostly excited for you to get into what comes next.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Well, and again, if there is any questions, um, please feel free to type in the chat. So, all right, let's move on to the next topic. Again, trying to move through this as fast as we can, but still go through everything. And these next updates are extremely bullish. So, we're gonna move on to SparkSwap itself. And although things may have looked a bit quiet on the front end this week or this past week, they've been extremely busy on the back end. So, development is at an all-time, fast rollout. We've never been able to develop as fast as we are now. We have so many things in the background working, and one of those things, again, is releasing multiple features, but one of the ones that has been highly requested, that a lot of you, I think will not only create a much easier user experience, um, but really help in adoption as well. And that again is almost here. So it's going to excite everybody. We really once this happens, we will be able to cement ourselves as the top bridge on PulseChain. So a lot of you probably have already put two and two together. But it will be the ability to, be able to swap multiple assets. So I'm not going to go into more than that. That's the alpha for today. I don't want to drop too much alpha because, again, we still have some testing to do. But the ultimate goal is that you will no longer have to worry about V1, V2. And when bridging, you'll be able to, use different assets than what we see right now. So, and then we facilitate the trades in the background through swappers. So it's really exciting stuff. Not only is it a much easier user experience, but it's also a bunch more volume. So, again, rather than just bridging over DAI and SDAI or USDEX, if you choose to actually receive Pulse, that's actually an additional swap. So not only are you getting Pulse, which again for new users is really important because a lot of new users don't even have Pulse for the gas fees. So that's a great product market fit. But on top of that, it means that we're actually doing two swaps. So you're swapping from and it say just as an example, DAI into SDAI and then SDAI into Pulse. That's a total of two swaps instead of one swap. And the more swaps, the more fees that are generated. And again, even with those fees, we're still the lowest, fees on Pulse. But now we're able to generate way more yield for Sparkler through, those fees. So it's a win-win for everybody, and we're really excited for all that. So again, we'll have a full breakdown on this, but we're getting really close in the next, again, I get in trouble, so I'll just say ASAP, right, LA? Yeah.
ASAP. Yes. He dropped the alpha. I didn't expect that. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Yeah. So really exciting stuff.
whoop.
And speaking of exciting news, we have an AMA schedule kicking off, right, LA? Go ahead.
So we were discussing that this afternoon. We've got I think 4 or maybe 5 that we're going to be booking that are lined up. We're just working schedule wise to make sure that they're going to be post launch of these new features. So I'm just still fine tuning the schedule. So whether they're going to be, actually, I won't say that what I was about to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just so I'm just fine tuning the schedule on those, and we're gonna have a bunch of AMAs to follow to make sure the world knows about these new features and how fucking badass our bridge is.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. I love it. And if you don't know, LA is excited when she drops the F bomb. So, and it's true. I mean, this is absolutely the pinnacle uh of bridging. So now we're already the best bridge on Pulse, but now after these updates, we will be the undisputed champion. And again, we get messages every day still in Discord and in Telegram from people that say, I just bridged, in under a minute, and a fraction of the fees that other bridges are charging. So if you are one of those people that have used the bridge and you love it, please help us spread the word. Again, shilling is one thing, but when you're actually promoting a better option for everybody involved, that is where the market share really takes over. So yeah, LA, go ahead. Any other things you want to add? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it in a nutshell. Just expect multiple announcements for multiple things that we're launching in the coming ASAP. um, because I already have the announcements typed up and ready to just press post. We are, like AJ said, we're just doing some testing and fine tuning to make sure they are 100% locked and loaded so that when they do get released, they will be perfection. So be ready, be watching for total epicness.
I love it. Absolutely. Yeah, big things happening. And this is a lot of the low-hanging fruit. And like LA said, it's multiple things. So the alpha I did drop is one of the major things, but there's literally about 2 or 3 other things that we haven't even really hinted at. That once we are ready to go and actually show the community what it is, again, I think it'll be a whole nother round of hype around Sparkswap as we truly become, the premier DEX on PulseChain. So really amazing stuff happening. And again, just yes, the price of Spark is down, but that is not an indication of the value of the protocol. I mean, again, I think it's a lot of people that are just well, first of all, it has a lot to do with Pulse being down, again, dragging us down. But even that, we see a little bit of selling. Just people going into blue chips to try to catch the pump. But Ella and I were talking about this earlier today. It's funny, the human psychology. You never want to sell one token that is down to buy another token that is up.
It's so silly.
Generally
Yeah.
speaking. Yeah, so right, LA? Yeah, totally.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the equivalent to like, I don't know. Actually, never mind. I won't even go there. But it's just so funny and hilarious the way that human beings work. It's like everyone had a perfect opportunity to buy ETH or Bitcoin at a much better deal. But now that everyone wants it, hey, I better get it. Like, even though I'm paying much more for it, let's hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's why we've said all along with Fusion, when Peg starts to rise, it's gonna happen very quickly that we get back to Peg, because that's simply the way that the human psychology works. Very few wise people take advantage when the prices are low. It's when things start to get jacked up that everyone all of a sudden wants back in. And things change extremely fast because of that momentum, just simply because of human psychology.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Very well said. And, there's many factors that we have purposely built into Spark and Sparkswap as a whole that will generate those green candles over time. So right now, again, we're still in the inflationary mode to be able to, pay out rewards and incentivize people to get into the farms. But over time, that inflation will go away. And again, like LA said, by the time people realize that it's happening, a lot of times it's too late. And that's the same deal with EMP, is that once we start seeing, EMP start going up, once you start to see Spark going up, once all the inflation is gone, EMP, the inflation has been gone for a while, but Spark as well, that is when we see a new all-time highs, and a lot of the issues that people do bring up are no longer an issue because the dilution in Sparkler goes away completely because there is no more additional Spark being minted, and those that have their positions in Sparkler are set, to just collect. Which again we've been preaching all along, is now is the time to build positions and really not even worry about price. And I know that sounds crazy, and you hear a lot of other scam projects say that, but we have the pedigree and the track record that I feel like we're allowed to say that. And again, not financial advice, but I think people that are in Sparkler building positions, they've been over the moon. I mean, we had an amazing week this past week in Sparkler as well. Some major payouts going through again based on not only volume, but like we had said all along, the arbitrage bots kicking in. So the idea is that the fees that we generate to support Sparkler will only get better and better over time, and that will also combat any dilution that you see in Sparkler. So, and I think the APR is actually even going up in Sparkler. I looked at it today, and I think that the APR is up about another 5% than it was earlier last week. So, the idea is that is the holy grail, is that we can produce real yield in Sparkler that actually outperforms any of the other APRs. And once that happens, people are going to be absolutely fighting to deposit into Sparkler, which then kicks off that flywheel of locking up more Spark, reducing the circulating supply, adding buying pressure on Spark. So I mean, it's just a great, closed loop ecosystem that really benefits all of us that have a long-term vision. So, all right. Again, sorry to get a little bit off topic there, but anything else, LA, before we move on to Fusion? I know, again, we maybe saved the best for last, but yeah,
Ooh, I do want to add one more thing to Sparkswap and our bridge. I've been doing some research on some of our competitors and stuff just to stay on
for
top
sure.
of on things. And I did notice that recently some of our competitors have actually moved to eliminate service for US residents, or US US people who live in the US. And so that's another check on our column, that no matter where in the world you live, you can access our bridge. And as far as I know, we're not planning on changing that. So there we go.
Yeah, no doubt.
Cheaper, faster, safer, more accessible, all the things. So
Totally. And again, everything is completely decentralized. I think a lot of those people that LA just mentioned, they actually, are facilitating the bridging, on the back end where you have to send it to, a wallet address and hope that you get it on the other side. With our bridge, it's completely decentralized code. That again it's not. All it is code, numbers, zeros and ones on the internet. So I'm not sending funds. LA is not sending funds. We don't have a black box, of a veil of what's actually happening. It's simply based on code, and it's super bullish because even if something were to happen to LA or or the ecosystem, that code will still live on. So really really exciting stuff. All right, awesome. I think that is all the updates for Sparkswap. You ready to move on to Fusion, LA?
yeah.
All right, so again, I know this is the hot topic. All of you want some super juicy alpha, and we have some coming. So Fusion is getting closer. Uh, there's going to be a number of exciting things that are being released over the next few weeks and months. Again, I know that everybody wants a date, but we're not quite ready for a date yet. Although the ball is in motion, and so we will say continue to say when Fusion is ASAP, but we're starting to really ramp up, the process of getting Fusion out. So that being said, our Fusion videos are finally finished. So LA, I don't want to steal your thunder. Please fill us in on the major
Uh,
alpha. Yeah.
Yeah, and just before I do that, I do want to say, while we are waiting for, while we're waiting for the development side of things, AJ and I do plan on doing everything in our power or in our control to move the needle and, make progress on things like these videos, the white paper, all of that stuff that, you're eagerly anticipating prior to the sacrifice beginning. And so expect to see a lot of progress on front end things while we wait for the back end things to be completed. And so the first step today is that our Fusion videos are finally finished. And after this AMA, they're all going to be posted. They are already posted, but they're secretly posted. So I'm going to make them all public and make a post with the link to the playlist. And there's a series of 6 explainer videos. Basically, the first one is the intro, and then we go into the central grid, the microgrid, the batteries, the marketplace, the sacrifice. And to celebrate the launch of this video series, we're holding a contest. And so somewhere in one of these videos, and the funny thing is, I don't even remember specifically which video it is. So it's going to be fun when someone finds this object. But somewhere in one of these videos, there is a random object that seemingly does not fit in to what is being said in that moment in the video. And I specifically inserted that object for this very purpose for the contest, because it will show me who's actually really watching and paying attention
I
and
love
who's
it.
who's not. So the very first person to find this object, who's watched all 6 videos and liked and commented on all 6 videos on YouTube, who then finds the video with the object and comments the word of what that object is in the corresponding video comments, will win 1,000 EMP.
Let's go.
Which, if you remember, when you go to sacrifice, will be credited at peg value. So that prize may be worth around $50, $60 today, but imagine the value of that come fusion sacrifice time. So keep that in mind. It's pretty damn exciting. So one winner is going to win 1,000 EMP. Let's fucking go. And we got these awesome videos. Now, on top of that, AJ and I have some dates on the calendar for this week. We're going to be plugging away and finishing the next version of the white paper. So you can expect to see that very soon as well, the next version of the white paper, most likely by the end of next week. That will be out. And so you're going to see a lot of progress coming your way fusion-wise. Get excited. We had a really great meeting today with Jake to speak about the development side of things, and everything is rocking and rolling. I'll let AJ kind of expand on the rest of it, but just expect to see lots of exciting fusion stuff coming out in the coming weeks.
I love it, LA. Yes, I'm fired up, man. I know you are too. And yeah, yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we've been working on this almost a year now, or what? I don't even know. The first time that we teach fusion, again, we've said it multiple times that maybe we maybe talked about fusion a little bit too early, if we had to go back and do it all over again. But now everything is finally coming together. The infamous meme of when fusion will hopefully have an answer. We've said multiple times that the end of the year time frame is something that we really are hoping for. And so again, we're saying ASAP, but right now, like LA said, we're putting in all the work that we can control to get everybody prepared. And I don't want to hear it, because I know we're gonna when fusion is finally live and we see EMP doing incredible numbers, people are going to say, man, I wish I would have bought EMP at these levels. And it's just the way it is. So don't be that person. We're not giving financial advice. We're not telling you to buy by any means, but we are saying that your opportunity may be a shorter and shorter window for when we do see EMP to finally recover, and we have all the things in place for that to happen. So, and I think these videos, again, LA has spent a tremendous amount of time on these explainer videos, and I really think that will help everybody finally get it. We talk about this a lot, quote unquote, getting it. We do have a few, diehard members that post in Telegram and Discord quite often about how excited they are for Fusion, and that's because they have taken the time to read the white paper, to understand what is happening under the hood, and really, again, do their own research. We say that too. A lot of people don't, but we always say to do your own research. And once you finally get it, you can't help but be bullish on Fusion. And so we hope that these videos will do a great job in explaining that. And they are purposely, a little bit, I don't want to say vague, but we made them very easy to understand, a very high level overview of how Fusion operates. And I know a lot of people are a lot more visual learners rather than reading a white paper. So I think this could really help get people excited. And again, share these videos. I mean, those that say EMP, isn't EMP dead? So if you ever read that or hear that,
Is he sure dead?
yeah,
Is
exactly.
dead? Yeah.
Yeah, share these videos and really show them what we've been building, behind the scenes for so long now, and get them excited for it. So, and we said it also. If anybody has been experiencing gains in Sparkler, a lot of the same core concepts are applied to Fusion times 10. So we keep saying that Fusion is Sparkler on steroids. So, that's all proof of concept that this is actually going to work. It's not just, hopes and dreams. So yeah, we're really excited. So yeah, go ahead, Ellie. Anything else? Yeah.
And I do want to expand on what you just said and say that uh, these the purpose of these videos were to be a very, very simplified, easy to understand general overview of what fusion is. So I want to create the right expectation that they were meant to be short, little bite-sized pieces that are simple and easy to understand to give you a general overview. So I don't want you to watch them with the expectation that we're going to dive really, really deep into any of these topics and break down how the APR is going to work, or, how all these outside revenue streams are going to flow into fusion and all of these things, because those are things that we can discuss on AMAs and stuff when we have a back and forth dialogue or you're asking questions, but those aren't simple overview type of topics. So we stuck to the basics to give everyone a very simplified, easy to understand overview. And when it comes to the deeper details, we'll point you in the direction of the new white paper that we're going to be working on. The existing white paper really gives you a great idea of what's coming, and those bones are there. We're just going to be adding some more to the new white paper to give you a little bit more information and make it even better. But if you want the deeper details, you will want to take a look at the white paper as well. We're just hoping that the videos, if you're more of a visual learner or even an audible learner, will help you have a better understanding so that when you do read the white paper, it makes more sense to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, to that point, I don't want to say that these videos are simple, but the idea is that we just want to get our point across. So we're not having to go back and create all new explainer videos if the very minute details change. So, and to Ellie's point, I think anybody watching these videos will get a great understanding of what's to come. But the actual, minute details are more safe for the full white paper, and just explaining it one on one in the community or on AMAs or anywhere else. So and we there is even variables that we still haven't 100%. We have internally, but we haven't given to the community, and battery prices, stuff like that. So we're getting super close, and so we're trying to make sure that we're prepared. And we said all along too that even when we do have a date, we want to have at least 2 weeks of lead time. Advertising. Again, another AMA train. A lot of those AMAs have already been bought and scheduled. We just are waiting for, or I shouldn't say scheduled, but reserved. And just waiting for the rollout. And so there'll be a very, very planned and purposeful rollout of EMP Fusion Sacrifice, and then ultimately, Fusion up and running 100%. So, and that is again just one more clarification. The sacrifice will happen first. That will give you your position in Fusion, and then sacrifice will remain open what we hope is indefinitely, or at least until we are able to maintain peg. And then once all the EMP is in Fusion and locked up, then the other contracts like nodes and detonator and reactor, those are ways to speculate and actually get a larger position potentially in Fusion than just buying EMP outright. So lots and lots of awesome stuff coming, for sure.
And I was so eager to get these out to you guys that I haven't even shown AJ the last couple yet. He hasn't even seen them yet, so he's gonna
Yeah,
see them when you.
yeah, totally. No, we were moving as fast as we can. All the ones I have seen, have been killer. And like I said, LA put in a ton of effort on these, and I don't know. There's a lot of Easter eggs including a very special voice on all the videos as well. So yes.
Yeah, so we're excited, and we'll have those out to you tonight. So hold on to your seats and get ready.
Cool. All right. Well, one more quick topic, and then we can open it up to some questions. But we have been seeing more and more scams as usual. So please, just a general safety warning: don't ever interact with contracts that are not pinned in our socials that we have not specifically discussed on AMAs. There are tons of copycat sites and contracts and fake tokens and airdrops and, you name it, that is 99% scam. So, we've seen a new NFT collection pop up that's a scam. Again, the EMP bonds, don't ever buy bonds on third-party markets. Only buy them through EMP.Bonds.com. There's also a lot of scammers of us as the team. I've seen two AJs now. One was in Discord and one was on Telegram. I will never ever send you a DM. I will never ask you for money. I will never, tell you to go to a website other than, our EMP.Money or EMP.Money or Sparkswap. So again, just be very careful with that. There's copycat LAs, there's copycat admins, and just make sure that you're looking. Maybe go into that LA. How can somebody tell if it's a real admin or a fake one?
Yeah, so inside of our groups, you'll see that two ways. You'll see that AJ and I pin posts. So that's a really quick way to find him or I. Go to one of the pinned posts, click on our name or our picture, and then hit message. And if you have no message history with us, that's a quick way to see that it's not us messaging you. Second way is that every time that him or I or one of the administrators writes a message in any of our groups, our chat bubbles are labeled. So it'll say team member or admin or ambassador or one of those things. And you'll know that that's one of our mods or admins or team members. And those are people that you can trust. Now, often the scammers will make profiles that look almost identical to our real admins' profiles. So you just have to be careful. But we'll never randomly DM you, even if we want to start a private conversation with you to help you with a transaction that's stuck or something you're asking about in the public group. We'll ask you to DM us, or we'll say, okay, I'm going to DM you, but likely we'll just ask you to DM us so that you don't get a fake us DMing you all of a sudden.
For sure.
Because those scammers are very quick and scammy and they're always watching. One thing that I just wanted to point out also is we got some reports that on NF Trade, people are creating fake Defender series or power-ups and that kind of thing. So just be very careful that you are paying attention, and if you are buying or selling, that you're following the correct links from our groups and or from our site, and making sure that you're, connecting to the right things. There's no reason to ever connect to an outside site because nobody on the team will ever just randomly DM you a random site to click on or connect to. Anything that, is something that is legit from our protocol is a site that you will see in our public groups that will be pinned, or it'll be directly linked from our website. It will not be just some shady thing that we DM to you that's not publicly known. In fact, all of our websites are linked in our Telegram groups when you just do the backslashes for different commands based on what you're looking for. So, yeah, I think that's kind of enough on that.
Yeah.
But
No, absolutely, LA. And I think there's two other quick points. There is no bridge support. I think that's been another attack vector. If you are having issues with the bridge, or people, or you're not getting your funds within a minute or two, do not, respond to bridge support. We don't have a support system for the bridge or anything with Spark. Again, everything is handled publicly through our admins. And even if there was an issue with the bridge, we usually take care of it individually, looking at your transaction hash and confirming what actually happened. Or if it's, a node issue, then that affects the entire bridge. And that's something that we see on our side anyway, and we just restart the nodes, and everything goes through. So yeah, that's another attack vector. And finally, another great way, even on Discord, is to look at the account age as well. So I know a lot of people, the AJ impersonator on Discord, had a pretty good copy of my profile, but when you look at when the account was established, it was like a month ago. So make sure that any of the accounts that you're looking at have an established date of at least 2 years or so from. I mean, my Discord is probably 8 years. So just again, make sure those are things to look out for. So all right, I think that's it for safety overview. Now, do you want to jump into questions, LA?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on
Oh,
this
absolutely.
first
Yeah.
before we do. In regards to the Sentinel Squadron NFTs, we did have a meeting with Jake today in regards to getting a little bit more information to share with you guys on a timeline for that. He is working on getting that complete. We don't have an exact date, but he's going to be getting it done. He's working on it this week. So we'll keep you updated on that, and we'll give you another update on Thursday, but it's going to be done very soon. So the rewards will kick back in, and everything has been accumulating while it's been paused. So you will get all of your rewards that have been accumulating when it gets turned back on. So just keep watch for that. We'll give an update if it's before Thursday, or if not, it would be on Thursday's AMA that we'll give another update, because we'll have some more information on that then.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I forgot. That's a great point, LA. But the two main things is, like you said, rewards are still accumulating, so nobody will lose out. The bummer is, again, the way that the contract was built to ensure decentralization. When you have a major change that we weren't anticipating, it is requiring an entire migration of the Sentinel contract. So it is a little bit more work than we had originally, anticipated. And again, there's only so much time in the day to get stuff done. So Jake is working on that, and the new reward will just be ESHARE BNB from Sentinels. So it should be a lot more streamlined as well.
Awesome. Yeah,
Cool.
so let's move into some questions. I know we had one on Discord, so we'll start with that. And I think it just kind of requires a review of kind of our plans for the future, because we haven't gone over this particular subject in a little while. So it'd be good to have a little review on that.
Okay,
So,
I like it.
the question is, I was thinking about a battery that would automatically claim the daily burst from the detonator and deposit it into the central grid. The battery could be set for 5.2 claiming or 6.1, etc. Please correct me if this feature is already planned for Fusion.
Yeah, so batteries are going to be very interesting, and they really are the backbone of profit taking within Fusion. So the idea is that there will be a battery for every sort of way that you would like to take profit in the ecosystem. So meaning, if you if you want BNB, there's a BNB battery. If you want, a stable token, there's stable battery. If you want a partner protocol, again, maybe Spark, for instance, you want to take profit in to Spark, there'll be a Spark battery. So the batteries are going to be limitless, and it'll be a full-time job just to manage, battery creation on the development side. So we will always be adding more batteries. We'll always be having votes in the community on what, projects we want to add. And then what happens is under the hood, eShare or energy is then converted into whatever, battery that you select, and then once the battery fills up, then that's when the payout happens. So, if you have a large amount of energy being produced every day, then your batteries will cycle, faster, meaning you potentially yield more and more. Or if you're more of a passive income where you don't want to check your positions every single day, then you can buy larger and larger batteries so that your rewards build up over time, and then when your battery cycles, maybe instead of every day at the end of the week, you get a larger payout that way. So that is kind of a high level overview of batteries. Again, I think one of the videos goes into that a little bit as well, right, LA?
Yes, we have a video on batteries.
Yeah, so that will help as well. But to answer the question directly, there will be a BBE or buyback and earn function where I think that is probably a little more about what this person was asking in terms of, having your detonator positions feed your ownership of Fusion. So the idea is that you're earning from Detonator and Reactor just like you do now, but instead of earning LP that you can break and then sell, that dollar value is actually going into Fusion, and so you can still withdraw your earnings from Fusion and through Detonator Reactor, but you have to have an additional battery to do so. But if you're just looking to build your Fusion position, then you don't need a battery. You just let your energy accumulate, and then that will give you a larger ownership percentage of Fusion itself through your microgrid. So, and again, the microgrid is also sellable. So, if you want to break off some of your microgrid to sell, then that's another way to take profit. Just remember, if you're selling your microgrid, you're potentially earning less because you don't have that share of the central grid anymore. So
So, sorry, I just want to kind of refocus the question
for
because
sure.
we didn't 100% touch on what he was getting at. So, he was mostly focused on the automatic claiming function of the battery. So, he wants to know if we're building a battery that will automatically claim from Detonator for you so that you could set a battery to automatically claim for you a couple of times a week and you don't have to physically be there to hit the claim button. That's where he's getting at.
Okay, understood. So yeah, that again, there's a little bit of gray area there. I think that we are able to program the battery to do that. I can't answer 100%, but if that functionality is able to happen, then absolutely, we would do that. The short answer is that Sentinels and defenders are probably a better option for you. Granted, you have to buy them, but if you're looking for like a turnkey solution where you don't have to compound or claim in Detonator Reactor, those NFTs are probably a better solution. But yeah, I think I understand what he's asking, and that yes, that will be something that we can work out with an actual battery to do that.
Yeah, and I did want to kind of just touch on nothing's set in stone yet, but when we do implement the Detonator V3 changes, that was something that we had discussed, kind of weaving into it some type of because the 5261 strategies are so highly incentivized within the V3 structure,
For sure.
kind of creating something that would help people automatically take those actions.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm a little, again, I know I sound a little vague, but there may be another option. And again, I'm trying not to give away too much alpha. There may be another option that's not technically a battery that also, accomplishes what this person is asking. So, yeah, again, the short answer is we have a solution for that. And, ultimately it will play into the ability to even, fractionalize your detonator and reactor positions as well.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, so that's that. And then we had another question that Vino answered, but I thought I'd read it out loud because it's pretty badass. What percentage is locked up? What percentage of Spark is locked up in Sparkler? So 52% of the supply is currently locked up. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
That's
whoop.
amazing. Killer.
Shout out to our stats man, Vino. That's wicked.
Yeah. We can always rely on Vino for stats. I think, man, that's killer. That's some of the all-time highs of the supply being locked, I think. Yeah. So that's bullish.
Yes. What is the Spark PLS LP farm equivalent in Fusion?
Yeah, so this is a great question. We are going to have our own protocol-owned liquidity. So it will be the same as it is now, EMP ETH. Again, we are always prioritizing that deep liquidity of EMP ETH, but it will become protocol-owned. So again, you're not actually providing LP. You're kind of pseudo it's even more, bullish for you as a user because you're actually just providing single asset staking, and then we are making up the difference in LP. So again, it's a win-win for everybody because now you don't have to actually create LP. You can just put EMP. Now again, if you do provide LP, that's even more bullish because you're getting credited for that LP. And then, we can use the other side. Oh, oh, sorry, Alexa's wanting to chime in here. So yeah. So the short answer is that the main LP pair will still be EMP ETH LP, but it will become protocol owned liquidity. So we'll be able to manage that on our side and guarantee that there's always liquidity on EMP. I mean that right now we've been really lucky, having deep liquidity on EMP from literally day one, but that's a very risky thing for a lot of protocols. With again, even with PLS Spark, there could be a situation where a lot of people remove their liquidity because it's mercenary liquidity or user provided liquidity, and that could potentially create issues. So that is something that we're solving in Fusion. And again, when we move away from Spark inflation, that will also be continuing to build protocol owned liquidity on Spark PLS is also part of our plan.
Awesome. Okay, so I'll answer this next one from, I won't read that out loud because it's way too hard of a name to pronounce. So for the nodes migrated into Fusion, will users be credited the deposited value or the max payout value? The answer is neither. You'll understand once you watch video 6 on the explainer series. But for nodes, you when you make claims, your claimed amount will be sacrificed directly into the Fusion central grid to build up your ownership percentage. The full node amount does not get sacrificed into the central grid. So you're not sacrificing your full node, you're sacrificing your daily claims or however often you're claiming. It is fully explained in video 6, which is the sacrifice video.
Perfect. Yep, absolutely. And just again to recap that a little bit more, all that you need to really understand, at least for in the beginning here, is that all the contracts function exactly the same as they have been for all along. So to LA's point, like nothing is really changing with the nodes. What is changing is you're only able to claim into the central grid, which again builds your microgrid, and that essentially eliminates the selling pressure of EMP. So you can no longer just claim from nodes and detonator and reactor on pair and dump. I mean that is just so bullish because you're forced into fusion, but even if you wanted to just dump, you still can do that. You just sell your microgrid. So we're not holding anybody hostage. Yes, we are adding an additional step, on profit taking. But if you're a dumper, then you're gonna have to take the additional step, unfortunately, and it literally eliminates a massive amount of selling pressure on EMP and makes the climb back to peg that much more doable. So yeah, I mean again, if you don't understand that, please try to educate yourself because once you understand that fundamentally, then you understand why fusion is so exciting.
Yes. So another question from Discord. Will there be an ETH or BTC battery?
Yes, so I'd say definitely an ETH battery. Uh, and without dropping too much alpha, then yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't have a BTC battery as well.
Yeah, and then just one other thing to add to that, keep in mind that certain things will be released right when the MVP launches, and other things will be added later down the line, just in the interest of getting Fusion out as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point, LA. And again, that was part of the delay on Fusion is that we could have, and I've said this many times, but I think it's worth saying it again. We could have launched Fusion months ago, but that would have just been the sacrifice. And we, unlike other protocols, again, not trying to throw shade or talk shit or anything like that, but a lot of other protocols will force you into a decision and then essentially lock your tokens up while they develop. And so we said we didn't want to do that. We would rather delay, sacrifice, still allow people to dump or sell or buy, whatever the market decided, and then have actual sacrifice happen where we have revenue streams in place. We have a way for you to actually sell your tokens. You're not held hostage, to no liquidity. So that was a very intentional decision to not do it the way, 99% of other protocols migrate. And again, yes, it added to development time, but at least you were never ever held hostage in EMP, and we pride ourselves on that. As much as people complain about peg and the price being down, we never ever once implemented a sell tax or the inability to exit your position. I mean that's again what makes us different than other DeFi protocols. But anyway, again, I don't want to harp on that too much. But yeah, go ahead, LA.
Awesome. Will ESHARE still be added to the Sparkswap bridge for farming rewards to earn prior to fusion?
Yes, absolutely. So I know that we said this was going to happen a while ago. It is still on the radar. Bear with us on that for sure. And as well as bonds. So that was another thing that we've been looking into to try to give some, use case to bonds and eShare, other ways to earn before Fusion goes live.
Awesome. Here's another one for you, AJ. How are you feeling? It was so nice to see you take a week off and spend some dedicated time with your family.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thanks for asking. Yeah, I am feeling great again. I could not do it without the team and the community. I really don't like I know that I'm the team lead, but I really don't like taking credit because, this is not possible without all of you. And LA, you're a big part of that, if not the biggest part of that. So, yeah, it was great to kind of have some family time. I'm reminded though why I don't really take a lot of vacations because it's a lot more work when you get back. So I know we joked about this before, but we need a vacation from our vacation. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling great. I've never been more excited for everything that we're building. I think this next year is going to be one of the best years in crypto period, let alone our own ecosystems. I think we're finally going to see all the hard work and the fruits of our labor come together, and we have some really exciting stuff planned for next year as well. LA and I had a meeting again earlier today on. I'm not going to drop any more alpha. We already had enough alpha today, but there's a lot more in the works for this coming year as well. In terms of community building and other exciting, surprises. So
Had to start making a list because we're already planning 2024.
totally.
Yep. All right. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of us for attending. Tonight was a good one. We appreciate every single one of you. I saw a comment on here that says, sucks, I'm only a minnow. But I just want to say, whether you have $1, $1 million, or anywhere in between invested in any of our projects or in all of our projects, you're extremely important to us. We love and appreciate all of you. We love and appreciate the fact that you take your time on Mondays and Thursdays to spend this hour or sometimes up to 2 hours with us on these AMAs to educate and inform yourself. That's extremely important. And the fact that you do that is impressive and amazing. And we love being here with you. And to say we're jacked up about what's coming and what we're building is an understatement. There's going to be a lot of exciting news coming up in the coming, I'd say, few weeks. I mean, this week, next week, the week after, there's going to be lots of things dropping. So make sure you stay active in the groups. Keep watch of the pins, not even just the most recent pin. Make sure you've come on and read the top 1 to 3 pins. Keep yourself informed because we'll be dropping the news pretty frequently. So you love it.
100%. Yeah, absolutely, LA. I couldn't have said it any better. The love and support from all of you help us uh, make this protocol what it is, and all these protocols. Again, we have an entire ecosystem now, and that alone is something that separates us. And once people finally, understand that, and Fusion is out, yields are great. Sparkswap is killing it. L1DEX is live. All the things are firing on all cylinders, and you throw in a bull run on top. We saw Bitcoin break 40K, now pushing 42,000. I mean, again, just wait until we start hitting new all-time highs. I think we're going to see a bit of a pullback, but this time next year, 1 year from now, I think we see some insane numbers on crypto as a whole, let alone multiples of that in our own ecosystem. So again, we're all here for the long haul, and it's going to be a hell of a ride as we continue to meet everything and deliver on everything that we said we would. So, all right, I think that'll wrap it up then, LA. Another amazing episode. I think that we
Yes.
did a great job recapping. Again, I know I was away for a week, and people were having their withdrawals. So
We all
yeah.
missed you, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and I did too. Again, I love this. It's so great to be able to be transparent and discuss, what we're doing with the community. We built EMP and the entire EMP ecosystem in the image of what we wanted in other DeFi protocols. And I still think to this day that we are one of the best communicators in the space. And, I pride myself on that, and I know LA does as well. So, yeah, go ahead, LA. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's one more question, but I think we should keep it for next week and actually, sorry, not next week, but next AMA on Thursday, and actually turn it into like a whole featured topic on the AMA because it's about ESHARE and where we see the price going and that kind of thing. And AJ and I actually just had a full conversation about this very topic on the phone today,
For sure.
and we both were like exciting each other as we talked about it and getting super excited about it. So I just feel like it could be a whole segment of next week or next. I keep saying next week on Thursday's AMA as opposed to just answering it quickly right now at the end of the AMA. Because there's a lot we could go into in regards to answering that.
Yeah, no, I agree, LA. So we'll pin that in our topics for next. Now you got me saying it next week. No, Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool game theory behind eShare, and again, not to drop some hints, but that's a lot to discuss. So the short answer is I'm bullish on eShare. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, absolutely. So, all right, we'll answer that in the next one. But all right, then on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button before you leave. And please keep an eye out for the Fusion videos. That is again the major alpha. LA, be ready on our channel after this AMA, correct?
Yeah, within the next couple hours, they'll be up and I'll have an announcement posted. And you will want to, start watching those babies fast because there's only one winner. And if I see that you have answered the question prior to the ability to actually have physically watched all of them in regards to the length of the 6 videos, then I'll know that you cheated. So actually watch them and then answer the question because you have to watch all 6 and comment on all 6 and like all 6, plus answer the question of finding the mystery object in order to win. And you have to be the first.
I love it. There you go, everybody. All right. Good luck to all the Easter egg hunters out there. And yeah, let us know. Again, please comment on those videos as well. We'd love to hear your feedback. If there are, things that the videos bring up that you want more clarification on, we're happy to go over that on the AMAs. It's a great way to start, a more in-depth discussion in the comments. It allows us more engagement. So please, all of the above. And just remember that these are high-level overview videos, and the new white paper that we're working on is really the hardcore details that you may also be interested in. But that will be coming soon as well. So, all right, awesome. Thank you, everybody. I think that'll do it. LA, any final words?
Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Absolutely. And again, thank you all for being here. We will see you on Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern as we do it all over again. All right. Good night. Good day. See you then.